You're watching First Business with Tom Hudson and Bijal Patel.
Well, there's no doubt about it. Money, or lack of it, makes us feel all sorts of emotions, and 𝘰𝐿𝐼 is here to talk about it with her new book, The Emotion Behind Money. And 𝘰𝐿𝐼, fear and greed are the two emotions that come to mind first.
Absolutely.
Why is that, do you think?
Well, I think it's the two things that really drive most of the decisions that we make. And when it comes to money, whether you have a positive relationship with money or a negative relationship with money, obviously greed is more of a negative relationship, and fear creates the greed.
Why do you think we let money have so much power over us?
I think a lot of people don't realize it from a conscious level, that it's really in our subconscious, because it comes from the areas of where we grew up and how our inherited beliefs are. And until we bring that up to the conscious level, to where we're actually making proactive choices, we're going to continue to have those patterns.
So what do you think are some of the mistakes that we make when it comes to our relationship with money?
That we give away our personal power to the almighty dollar. That we really need to retain our personal power and really start to say that, yes, I have, you know, the strength and the courage to be able to make decisions outside of trying to keep up with the Joneses in our community and what other people are doing, but doing what's best for your household, regardless of what's going on in the external world.
And what are some specific ways to be able to have more control over it?
Well, I think one of the biggest things that people need to do is really take bite-sized pieces, because it can be too overwhelming. That if you've had a negative relationship with money, like lots of credit card debt or things of that nature, it's sometimes really hard to get out of that rut and to get out of the rat race. And so if you take it, it's kind of like, I always explain it from like a body perspective, that if you go on a diet and you deny yourself Oreos, well, all of a sudden you're denying, and then you're going to eat the whole bag of Oreos. Whereas money is the exact same thing, that if it's spending is your issue, if you deny yourself all the time and cold turkey, you're not going to have long-term success. So you really have to take those bite-sized pieces so that it's palatable, and then you have long-term success.
Oftentimes, I think so many Americans kind of overextend themselves. They spend more money than they make.
Right.
And that also really gets them into a heap of trouble with so much debt. How can they, kind of change their mindset about spending in that way?
Well, I think it's really important for people to return back to a cash basis. If you've ever met anyone who lived through the Great Depression, cash was king. That's all you had. There is a different relationship than if you were to hand over three $100 bills for a purchase versus sliding a credit card. It's a completely different exchange of money. People become numb to sliding a credit card. And whereas when you're paying cash, you think twice about it. So I always, if people are having a tough time with cash flow management, I tell them to go back to a cash basis, because that's how you can regain your personal power.
And real quick, 𝘰𝐿𝐼, what is a healthy way to look or to feel about money?
Well, I think you really have to decide that you want that. Some people have to realize that they're part of their own problem. I have a chapter in my book called Crabs in the Bucket, meaning that you could be your own biggest crab, and also look at the people who surround you. Are they people who have their financial acts together, or are they not? And just, they always say we are the company we keep. And so from a financial perspective, you really have to take a look at that. And if you want to shift and change, then be around those people who you idolize in moving into those directions as a helping you keep where you're at.
Okay, thanks so much. Really good insight. 𝘰𝐿𝐼, author of The Emotion Behind Money.